All right, here we are back for another tutorial here. Here you can see we got City Park Hole 2, par 4, straight into the wind. On the third tee deck, this is going to be a little bit harder hole. What I'm going to recommend is you guys, try to get it down as far as possible. Probably try to curl it as well pretty hard. The easiest thing here is going to be to miss right. So here you can see my opponent just barely curling it. Might be okay. It's going to be distance related as to whether or not, this could potentially run into trouble. And as you can see, well short of all that, other stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to curl it a little bit harder. The more downwind, the harder that you're going to need to curl it. You can see that we're kind of aiming towards this rough up here, and it's going to be very, very hard to keep it out of there. So you do need to be a little bit careful here. You can see with what I'm doing, which is basically full Apoc 5 spin here. And we're going to also try to land as left as possible. What you're going to see me do is a little bit more curl. There you can see perfect ball. And we're going to see if we can't get a little bit more aggressive towards the left-hand side. Oh, too aggressive on the left-hand side. So I actually ran into the bunker. What usually happens is it usually hits a downslope and lands and kicks very right. What you could see happen there is it really didn't do that. So, that one might be one of the reasons that you kind of need to keep off the curl, but it's going to be very distance related because the longer that I drive that, the more of a side hill you hit. So it is going to, be very touch and go with the way that you can even see where my opponent is, how big this side hill is. Just imagine if, I hit that side hill, you're going to miss right if you're not careful. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention, you don't need to necessarily get there in two to make your birdie on this hole. So we can, at the same time, we can just kind of focus on, keeping the ball in play, getting it down here as far as possible. And what I'll usually do, especially on a full type shot, I might play my Spitfire a little bit closer to, 1.2 per ring. I'm going to go about 7 rings here. And I am going to landscape it. You can see the side hill that I'm kind of landing on. And you can see what I'm doing power-wise. Just want to kind of, treat this like a metronome a little bit with the way that you kind of release. Just try to get it as best as possible. There you can see it kind of lands left half, rolls through. It is going to be a little bit farther than I want it. You'll want a little bit of a tailwind, get it up there towards min club a little bit more. Where my opponent is a little bit better off than I am. I would feel like I could probably make that, maybe 70% of the time where my opponent is. Whereas I'm a little bit back farther. It's going to make my shot a little bit harder towards mid club. But what you're going to see me do definitely is pull out Thorn. I might play this, just a little bit uphill. I'll usually play it a lot uphill, maybe 10 or 15%. I'm going to back off a little bit because I am a little bit more towards mid-club than I want to be. I'll usually try to lay it up to where my opponent just did. It's going to give me a very good chance to make it. I just couldn't get it up there with the way that drive is. And here you'll see, min club is right here. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be far, far closer to mid club here. So with the way that you're going to see me play this, I'm going to play it very deep, kind of similar to this. I am going to do an overplay. So with an overplay, I'm going to actually take off that 5% that I was about to use. And as I mentioned, very close to mid club, 3 rings. And you can also see that I'm kind of intentionally keeping the ball guide long with this play. 3.2, 3.5 rings, somewhere in there. I didn't get to let that have a pass, unfortunately. So I great balled it to the left. I had to the right. And I had to get that off, so it kind of resulted in me not being able to give it a run. But you could see that, with a perfect ball, had it not deflected off towards the right, that would have given me a very, very makeable chance. But I have no problem, going to shoot out there. I was a little slow with the way that I set that up. You can see kind of the way that I was going about doing it. And, since we're going to shoot out here, I am going to split these videos up just so we can get, hopefully the most holes done as possible and get them sorted the best as possible. So I'll catch you guys on the shootout coming up.